Just standing up top of what they can just to get a view. Not too sure if you can hear right now. Let's take a listen for a second. People are saying, "We love Trump." They're chanting that right now. That's as the former president continues to make his way down.
And by the way, the lack of crowds speak to that. There are no crowds outside. No. It's 8 people, it's 10 people, it's 12 people, it's somebody with their iPhone holding it up.
And they're not Trump supporters. There's a few, but a lot of them are just QAnon and conspiracy theory people. There's not a lot of flags.
No, it just feels like it's over. And
lying, MSNBC. Meanwhile,
President Biden's economic policies and saying that construction workers are feeling the brunt of these policies, and that if he was to be reelected, that he would definitely turn things around. Now, many of his supporters, you can hear them chanting right now.
Hello, friend, and welcome to The Conservative Poet. My name is Amania, and here on the channel, I do reactions, political commentary. I throw some parody in there, some comedy to tickle your funny bone, because these times that we're currently living in is so stressful and so dire that we need to make a little fun of the crazy. So if that interests you, then you've come to the right place, and we're going to get into it right now. Before we get into the deep dive of what I really want to talk about in this video, I first want to play the full clip from MSNBC, Donny, what's his name, douchebag? Donny Douchebag? I think that's his name, Donny Douchebag, where he's talking about how the people have left Trump. Nobody's showing up to see Trump. Everybody, Trump, we're over Trump and this whole thing. And so let's hear it from them. MSDNC talking about the hush money trial going on right now, and how pretty much the people have, abandoned Trump. Lying.
Simone, first Donny, knowing him, but both of you, about sort of the showman that Donald Trump is. You know, he loves to have his rallies. He gets the crowd going. They're screaming. They're applauding for him saying the most disgusting things about January 6 hostages and a choir, and crowds going wild. They love it. He loves it, and he's got this energy. And he walks outside the courtroom, and every day he's got this opportunity before walking in and after walking out to talk to the cameras. But I think it's a very different scene. It's dour, it's dark, it's gloomy, it's gross. He's got the worst fluorescent lighting going right through his hair. And I just wonder if he feels just not like he can really do his thing from this position. And also the people taking pictures and asking questions. It's the New York media, maybe some people on the street if they're there. It just doesn't seem like he's got his game on, even though it's an opportunity to do something.
I think,
Donny,
the net, when you watch what's going on with him, and you watch what's going on with this trial, is a yuck. This just whole thing is a yuck.
So
and
gross.
It's just gross. The whole thing is sleazy. It's tawdry. It's ugly. Look, the story we did before this was about abortion and women's health rights. And then you see this circus act, this sleaze act, this greasy, slimy story. And I think it's tired. This feels like a moment in time. You look at it, and obviously there's abortion, and there's democracy issues, and there's 2 wars going on, and there's a crisis at the border. And I just think the average American looks at this and says, I've had enough. I've had enough. You know, this has been a show, and whether you like it or hate it, you've leaned in. We've leaned in since he came down that elevator in 2015. It feels like it's time that people are leaning out. They've just had enough.
It's the exhaustion factor.
It's exhausting. Stop it. I can't. By the way, the lack of crowds speak to that. There are no crowds outside. No. It's 8 people, it's 10 people, it's 12 people, it's somebody with their iPhone holding it up.
And they're not Trump supporter. There's a few, but a lot of them are just QAnon and conspiracy theory people. There's not a lot of flags.
No,
for him.
it just feels like it's over. And by the way, this was the trial that was not going to matter. This was not the electoral college. This was not the election stealing trial. This was not the insurrection trial. This was not the documents trial. This was the trial that didn't. What it matters, it shows that he just doesn't seem to matter as much.
Seen that, heard that, good. Donny Douchebag, you are absolutely right. The people are sick and tired of this dog and pony show that you and the rest of the MSDNC panels put out here in reference to Donald Trump. And listen to how Mika lays down the foundation. Oh, talking about him when he comes out of the courtroom, the lights are terrible, and it doesn't shed very nicely on him. But this is where these people's minds are. This is what they're thinking about. Oh, well, it's not like his rallies where he can just come out there and be the bull that he is. Here he's just, he's just little Trump pretty much. And, he has nobody's out here for him. Nobody's out here clapping and waving and doing all of these things like at his rally. He's out of his element. Is he really? Is he really? Let's find out.
Good morning, I'm Phil Tate in Midtown. Moments ago, former President Trump made his way here to Midtown as he greeted many union workers and construction workers. As you can see right behind me, there is still a strong show of support by many people who came to see him just moments ago. Now, this just hours ahead of him as he heads to Lower Manhattan into a courtroom. Just take a look right here, just right behind me. This as he heads back into Lower Manhattan courtroom for this hush money trial. Again, another trial happens in the Supreme Court in D.C. this morning that he will not appear on to see if he is to receive immunity for that. As you can see, many people are very excited right behind me, but he calls much of what he's facing in the court of law a witch hunt. Let's take a listen.
I'll be back in the courtroom, and all that is a political witch hunt. I did nothing wrong. Everybody knows it's a political witch hunt. It's election interference. That's all it is. They all want us to run, and we're gonna run very hard in New York. New York, we have a good chance of winning New York, in my opinion. We're gonna give it a shot.
And as you can see right behind me, there are many of just Trump supporters just chanting his name. Again, this all ahead as the former president headed back to a Lower Manhattan courtroom in just hours. We're in Midtown. I'm Phil Tate, Channel 7 Eyewitness News.
Seen that, heard that, good. So again, very, very smart move on the president's side of, meeting the people right where they at, where he needs to be. He's got to be there. Might as well campaign. So it's a great move. And I'm telling you, I was so moved by seeing that. President Trump is loved, loved, loved. I mean, he is one of the most loved presidents there ever was, if not the most loved. I'm going to just say it. Trump just might be the most loved president there ever was, right? So it was a great, great event to see that. I mean, I was teared up just watching the whole thing, just the emotions on the face of the men, as he's signing their hats and their t-shirts and shaking hands and they're taking selfies and it's just a beautiful, beautiful thing, right? This is the former president, as they like to call him, president of the United States. This is how much love this man gets. Does Joe Biden get the same love? Does Joe Biden get the same thing? I don't know. Let's find out. Let's find out. So again, very, very smart move on the president's side of, meeting the people right where they at, where he needs to be. He's got to be there.